All right. So if you are just joining us here on streaming, it is 5:27 Phoenix time. About an hour ago, Air Force Two landed at Sky Harbor Airport, which is the Phoenix Metro's main airport here, with the body of Charlie Kirk, his family, and the Vice President.
And as we are giving you a live look here from Sky 12, we can see that motorcade come around the bend here. And clearly you can see the law enforcement has cleared the way for this procession. And it looks like that the white hearse is possibly in the front there. It's kind of hard to see, but you know, obviously making its way from the freeway to the streets and ending up at Hanson Mortuary.
Yeah, and from this angle, and tell me if I'm wrong, it doesn't appear like they have shut down Interstate 10. It looks like there's other traffic on there.
You know, it's hard to say.
Yeah. Well, look at all the cars in front.
Right.
But here, you know, just a quick recap for you. Air Force Two landed.
Okay. It looks like it's in the far, well,
it'd be the right lane.
The right lane,
left,
but you can see, it's almost like the HOV lane, it looks like, right? Where you can see that white hearse there, because now you can see the motorcycles, the law enforcement kind of lead the way, and then now you can't see it because of the building that's right in front, but they'll make their way slowly around the bend here, and then that will be a better view of the hearse with the body of Charlie Kirk making its way to the mortuary, which again isn't too far, but you can see that line of procession right there from Sky 12.
So the plane landed about 4:30. It sat on the tarmac for a few minutes. Then Charlie Kirk's family got off the plane, and we believe somebody else who came with them, about a dozen people, got off the back. Could be coworkers, could be other family members. J.D. Vance then walked off the plane. We saw a military vehicle, I believe, with a lift on it, pull up, kind of back up to Air Force Two. The lift went up to the height of the plane, which is probably 15, maybe even 20 feet. The planes are so high off the ground. The casket containing Charlie Kirk was then pulled off. It was secured by an honor guard. They then dropped down to the ground. The honor guard walked Charlie Kirk's casket and body into the back of that white hearse you're looking at right now. The door was shut. It appeared there was maybe even a short, maybe 10-minute, maybe 15-minute, I don't want to call it a service, but there was definitely a gathering with a number of people who may have been inside the executive terminal who came out, and that's where we are now. So that was all about 10 minutes ago, and now we're en route.
Right, and I'm looking at the street signs here as they are making their way.
Bethany
it looks
home.
Like up to 51.
Yeah.
You think that's up to 51? Yeah, because we just saw Bethany home. That's where it kind of bends a little bit and goes, I want to say, up towards Northern. But obviously they are traveling north on the 51, headed to the mortuary, and you can see that white hearse right in the middle of your screen there. And, you know, quite the procession behind it. You can see the police on their motorcycles, not only just in front, but towards the back too, just kind of slowing down that traffic and really clearing the way. You can see the cars around it too. You know, they're traveling pretty slowly because, again, with all this law enforcement and the procession, you know, it's something where it's a very delicate situation, and they just want to make sure that they're not in the way, obviously, of this procession.
And they're moving over, so it was interesting to watch that. The motors in the back basically blocked traffic so they could all move over at once. And I believe they're probably getting ready to exit here fairly quickly, and then they should be making a left and head right. They should be heading west. Yeah, they should be heading west, and that would take them to this mortuary in the area. So
and you can see right there, you know, at the top of the screen, all those cars right there. Normally they would be, you know, getting ready to get on the freeway, but again, in a situation like this where they've got the motorcade, and you can see the motorcycle kind of just stopping the traffic so that nobody gets onto the freeway. That's usually what happens. The exits, the on-ramps, they are all just locked down to make sure that nobody gets in their way.
And you would assume at this point that Charlie Kirk's family is in one of the SUVs following. I think there's at least two of them following behind right now. We don't know when any funeral or memorial service will be held, but we did get the confirmation earlier today that President Trump will be attending, as I'm sure any host of different dignitaries are going to be here, which I'm sure creates another security event.
It does indeed.
So tell me what that, I mean, now you're trying to secure, I mean, we don't know where it's going to be. I know that he did worship at that big church in North Phoenix as well. I mean, maybe that's going to be held there.
He would have a separate advance team that would come in from the Secret Service to sanitize the area that he was going to be in. That would have to take place. That's separate from what you're seeing here. And so that would be done in advance of his arrival. And then that area would be secured because the president's going to be there, and they have to install a perimeter around it for the protection of the president.
Yeah, it looks like I was just looking up, exactly where Hanson Mortuary is. That's off of 7th Street. That's north of Northern. So it looks like as they travel up the 51, perhaps they just exited Northern, making a left right here, traveling west. And, again, it's on the west side of 7th Street. That's where Rachel Cole is waiting. She said that a number of supporters have started to gather outside that mortuary waiting for the arrival of that casket.
I think maybe we should get back to Rachel here, at least her voice at this point. Rachel, because they're just a couple of minutes away from you here. So what are you seeing, an uptick in activity?
Actually, yes, we are. We've seen several more vehicles pull up. We're at a St. Vincent de Paul thrift store, so the parking lot continues to fill up with large trucks with flags in the truck beds, and then of course people getting out with folding chairs and American flags to line 7th Street as that motorcade makes its way over here. A couple of people, in fact, had confused it for maybe a 9/11 parade, so you can just imagine the people out here with all of their red, white, and blue feeling, having those heavy hearts. We've also seen a heightened sense of security in terms of Phoenix police that's over here. Again, we saw the motorcycle officers leave to go escort the motorcade, but then you've got patrol officers who are here on the ground at Hanson Mortuary.